Welcome everyone to episode 65 of Video Game Book Club. I'm Tubby Mora, and today I am joined by Nakuso. Say hello, dude.
What's up?
This time around, we're going to be talking about KeyWe. This game was discovered by Nakuso. He was all like, yo, you want to play a game about Kiwis? And I said, heck yeah, I want to play a game about Kiwis. And here we are, playing the flightless bird game. So Kiwis was developed by Stone, Wheat, and Sons, published by Sold Out, and was originally released on August 31st, 2021 for PC and Nintendo Switch. On the KeyWe official website, it reads, quote, "Welcome to KeyWe, the cute and chaotic co-op postal puzzle game. The mail must flow, and it's up to you to keep things running. Play as Jeff and Deborah, two small Kiwi birds and the newest hires at the Bungalow Basin telepost office." But that's how the website describes the game. How would everyone here describe the game? And the order presenting will be Nakuso and then Tubby Mora. And please be advised, there may be spoilers ahead. That said, let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in one sentence.
Grab your friend and play with your Kiwis in many puzzling ways.
Oh my god. For
What?
me,
What?
nothing. No, it's good. It's good. Me, how would I describe Kiwi? Underpaid, overworked, non-represented Kiwis attempt to do the jobs of human postal workers while straining themselves under work conditions that violate all OSHA regulations, aka the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. Move on to question 2. What platform did you play the game on? What difficulty did you play on? And how many hours did it take you to finish the game, Noxo?
I played on Steam with the default difficulty using an Xbox controller initially until I realized that I had Joy-Con drift
Oh my, no.
on my Xbox. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I swapped to my PS5 controller for the remainder of the game. And I played as the Kiwi Deborah. And it took about 9 hours to complete. I found out by the end of the game that our Kiwis actually have names.
I know. Because I remember we were like reading the description.
Like the intro. I think, right? You just said it.
Yeah. But I got that off the website. It was just funny because I remember we were like, because we usually when we were playing this game, we would typically like read each scenario. And then we're like, who the frick is Deborah? And who the heck is Jeff? And then Noxo pieced it together. I think that's our Kiwis. That's pretty good. It's also weird, dude, that I just think it's funny that out of all the games we played, like the most chill game like KeyWe would be the one to cause Joy-Con drift on your Xbox controller. Like that's wild to me.
Yeah, that's about right, actually. It's funny because I noticed that at the start, like when we first started playing, but I thought it was just like the game being glitchy. But no, I found out when I was playing another game. And then I went back to Kiwi and I was like, oh, that makes such a lot of sense now.
It all became much clearer.
Yeah. That's why it was so difficult to platform in that game for a while.
It all adds up. Okay. For me, I played on PC, on Steam, with Nakuso, of course, using my Xbox Series X Red Pulse controller. I played on the hardest difficulty, bird flipping difficulty, which is just the default. And similar to Nakuso, I clocked in a whopping 8.4 hours of Kiwi goodness.
What? How did I play more?
Wait, what was yours? Like 9 something?
9.1.
How is that possible?
I mean, I did play
Were you putting in some extra overtime shifts while I was away?
I just set up my settings.
Okay.
I left it on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I do recall that when we first started, I think you just tested it. But yeah, maybe you did leave it on.
I did. Oh. Or maybe it's because I'm a Kiwi only channel.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Be sure you guys check out Nakuso on Twitch, Kiwi only channel. Let's move on to question 3. Describe your play style towards the game. Take it away, Nakuso.
Well, I mean, this one is kind of funny because we both played together.
Yeah.
I didn't even like play. I only played like maybe like 5 minutes of the tutorial. So that's the only difference. But anyway, I play with Tubby more. We did main objectives as our focus. But we also did overtime as we unlocked each season. I think the bubble wrap is like the only one we did to completion. And that was just to get the bubble wand, which was 100% worth it. The other ones we didn't really bother with because it takes us a lot to grind. So we mostly focused on a few challenges along the way just to unlock gear for our Kiwis, customization. I always tried to go with a theme for each season, if you noticed during my play session. So
that is true.
By the end of the game, I actually went with a blue color for my Kiwi, a little hat, little boots.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good.
How about you? How did you play?
I played Kiwi with my good friend Nakuso. It's crazy, dude. And I went for a octopus / teacup on my head / bubble wand build. The bubble wand is really strong in this game. It really allows you to feel your Kiwi and be the Kiwi. Allows you to really find where your Kiwi is on the screen. And similar to Nakuso, I kind of copied him, and I too grinded out the bubble wrapping stage just to get the bubble wand, which was surprisingly that was worth it. I don't know. Do you think it was worth it? I think it was worth it.
Yeah, it's animated, so it's
yeah.
good.
Now, if it wasn't animated, then we would be saying some pretty nasty things on question 5. But we're still on question 3, so we're still good. Yeah, same play style. Main objectives. I think we pretty much just tried everything at least once, including the overtime shifts. There's a lot of jumping, a lot of chirping, a lot of swear words in a Kiwi language, and it was a fun time. There really, if there was an objective, we just did it. If there was a puzzle, we just solved it, and that is how we played the game. Amen. Question 4. What are 3 things you like about the game? And we will be alternating for this one. Take it away, Noxo.
So the first thing that I love about this game is just the horror aspects. To be honest, this is like one of the scariest games I played in VGBC. It started with like at the start, it felt like it was just going to be a nice, cute game, but over time, it's actually creepy.
Oh, it
you have
is.
Zoe the octopus underwater. You never really see what Zoe looks like fully until the end. You notice when you see Zoe by the end, that's when it's a winter storm and everything falls apart. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Weird.
Good point.
Where are the ghosts?
Oh, don't worry. I got the footage up right now.
Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost scaring us. It's just so many jump scares in this game. I actually didn't expect it. And to be honest, it was great. Like before this, we played games in VGBC, like Alien Isolation. Very scary. One of the first horror games we played. And then Luigi's Mansion. But none can
terrifying.
KeyWe. Honestly. It's one of the games of all time.
Dude. Same. Like right here, we're showing the clip right here. Oh my God. Like we just could not stop shaking. Every single moment of this little tiny roller coaster ride was just full of jump scares over and over. Like my heart rate, man. Heart rate monitor was like 999. I almost died. But for me, okay. So the game was so scary. That's the first thing you like about the game?
Yeah, that's it. That's for me.
All right. The first thing I like about the game. I understand. This is probably really dumb, but you know what? I'm going to say it anyway. I now know what a cassowary is. That giant bird in the background is not an emu. It's not an ostrich. It's a cassowary. And this is one of the few games where I actually learned a new term and we abused the crap out of it. Cassowary. Very important term. And I just like how just the cassowaries in general, they became a lot more involved with the game, let's say. Like, even if you're trying to avoid them, even if you hate their guts, in some aspect in the game, they're always present and they're always helping. And really, when you are two Kiwis trying to run a whole postal service, as much as you hate these cassowaries, you know, they're also your coworkers, and we love our coworkers here at Bungalow Basin Company. So, yeah, I love it. I love the cassowaries. I love the octopus. What was the name again of the octopus? Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how the game integrated all of these like side characters and really made them a part of your of the company. It's really inclusive company, and I bet it sounds like I'm memeing right now, but I'm being serious. It was cool that they were actually implemented in a lot of the levels, and everybody was kind of like working together. So memes aside, I just thought it was cool that they were all incorporated in some fashion in practically all the levels, and I really appreciate that. What's the second thing, Noxo?
Actually, to be honest, I want to follow what you said. My second thing is the lore of the game. Like, I can't believe it. I learned so much about cassowary. It's about a genre of birds in Australia and also
Dude,
the Australian
same.
Postal Service.
Uh-huh.
Like, I didn't know. We have a friend, General J from General J Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's an Australian. This is what he goes through. And I can see why he feels that way towards a lot of things. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Because his postal service is run by Kiwis.
If you had to deal with what we had to deal with, it's stressful. We're underpaid. You may say that we're Amazon employees in the sense. We have keys flying off. We're like drowning in mail. We're popping things. We're causing chaos. There's blood in the mail.
There's sand between our toes and our eyes and our beaks.
Yeah, we're clipping through terrain. It's crazy. And I'm just gonna say, there's a lot about the mail service. I respect it, and this just like drove it. Like each season, you got a specific cutscene to tell the tale of Bungalow Basin, the Kiwis, the owner Zoe, Bartleby, that specific emu. And it was just crazy. I didn't expect. No, honestly, I didn't expect that it's gonna have cutscenes.
I know.
And I just like how as each season goes on, it gets more chaotic and more unhinged until you get to the last season where everything just falls apart. And I loved it. It was silly. It was funny, and it was just nice change of pace from what we usually play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How about you? What's your second?
Okay, my second thing. Listen, I know. Hear me out. I know in Bungalow Basin, kind of like what Noxo said, we're underpaid. We're being overworked. In fact, every single moment of that we're working here, our lives are like at risk. I mean, look at the screen right now. There's a freaking sand tornado just sweeping us up and murdering us. But what they don't pay us in money, they pay us with drip. And this game got a lot of drip. Like we said before, you can wear an octopus, can wear Rudolph's red nose, a winter hat, a bubble wand, a cup of tea. What do you think that you can wear in the workplace? It doesn't matter because you can just wear whatever you want. Honestly, there isn't any dress code. And I love how Bungalow Basin allows us Kiwis to just wear whatever we want. We can even grow arms if we want to for a small price of DLC. But I think it's pretty cool that there are a lot of different skins in the game, really to customize and express your Kiwi. That's actually one of the drawing factors. When Noxo first showed me this game and I just saw that Kiwis wearing different outfits, I was like, I don't even know how this game is going to play, but I'm sold on that aspect. There's not a whole lot of games where you can strap an octopus to your back, and this is really probably one of my favorite games with octopus strapping technology, and I really appreciate it. So, and it's cool. A lot of the outfits you can just wear. You don't have to really spend money. It's all unlockable if you're willing to grind. And I really like that. You know, I do appreciate me some good skins. And now there's another game that never mind. But yeah, what about you, Noxo? What is the third thing you like about the Kiwis?
So I like playing as a postal Kiwis. The idea is so outrageous, but being in a postal service and is playing as two Kiwis is dumb. It's so dumb, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Just like the different missions with the typewriter. We all love the typewriter, one of our best.
I love typewriters.
Apparently our best missions, according to like how quickly we get in, how much gold we got in the game. Yeah, it was great sending out the messages. Tommy got pretty good, at feeding the Kiwis, giving some hot cocoa, doing a little quick time event on top of the emu. It was great. I loved it. Like the silly bubble popping and the snowball fight doesn't take it so seriously. It was a fun premise. I was like, how are they going to even do this? And yeah, if just by the whole name in the trailer sounds outrageous, that's pretty much what the whole game is. And it's just fun doing this with your friend, having to go in sync. I can see if you two aren't like in sync, like a lot of these co-op games involving two people, it could be pretty frustrating, but we did pretty well together.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time. How about you, Tubby? What's your final thing?
My final thing. Oh, you talked about it being charming, seasons, cassowary. I would say, one thing I love working at Bungalow Basin as a Kiwi with Nakuso is like, sure, we have to do the same job over and over, like typing letters, shipping packages, mailing things, taking incoming and outgoing mail. But as the seasons change and as we move towards like further into our career as Kiwis in the postal service, there were a lot of crazy things that would happen in the workplace, like locusts attacking you, sandstorms, for some reason, automation, robots that try to take our jobs. And it was just really cool to see like a pre-existing concept be evolved over and over and over again. And I was glad that it kept things fresh in the workplace. And I really enjoyed working here every day to kind of see how different things would be, whether it was the summer, the fall, or the winter. It was a familiar place, but with a little twist in it, a little shamalama twist. And I respect it. I really like it. So yeah, that's another thing. I love working at Bungalow Basin, man. Yeah.
Same. I love this job.
I love this job.
I love the pay.
Me too. You get paid?
Anyway.
All right. But, with any workplace, sometimes things aren't always as best as they can be. And that's why we're moving on to question 5. What are 3 things you do not like about the game, aka Bungalow Basin Workplace? Take it away, Nakuso.
So the first thing I don't like is this one was super obvious from our first play session, and that's just the desync.
The bugs. The locusts
went through our game.
Literal bugs.
Caused a lot of clipping through terrain. Had desync. Tubby knows about the desync. He actually brought that down.
I did.
It was specifically only the mission that involved the stamping, which is really weird. That was the only desync mission. But there's other bugs with like pushing or pulling the packages in that one specific mission with Zoe. And it's like sometimes the packages can just get stuck. Not to mention the one we did with the Christmas one with the wrapping.
Yes.
We somehow glitched it, even though I feel like that was a really rare glitch because you had to do it exactly around the same time to get the boxes. But just regardless,
I remember
there are
that.
things in this game. Sometimes the jumping can be weird. It's just a lot of tweaks that could have been ironed out. And that's obviously how I would have fixed it. Just a little bit more play testing. Give it give it to some play testers or other people out there just to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure how much play testing went into this compared to the devs playing, then them might not run into the same issues we do.
Yeah, so for sure.
It's always good to have multiple people,
No, I'm with you, man. I totally agree. Just like when we saw those 2 Christmas packages merge into each other, and kind of like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters, and then just completely breaking the game. I was shocked. I was also a little sad too because that was a hard level. But it happens. Bugs happen, and with a little bit more testing, like Noxo said, you can definitely get that part taken care of. We can fix that OSHA condition. One thing I did not like about the game, just like with anything in the workplace, Bungalow Basin included, no matter how perfect it is, sometimes there can be jobs that you are not the biggest fan of. You know, you get stuck with a position or duty that may not necessarily be to your liking. And in this case, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Cassowary Courier Course, aka an overtime shift that literally just felt out of place. This was probably one of the jankiest levels that we played. Sorry, jankiest shifts that we played. The controls felt clunky, felt unresponsive, and just felt weird overall. Like it felt out of place, like an ugly duckling in this land of beautiful cassowaries. It was weird. Like there are a lot of things that they could have done to help fix this. Like I reviewed the footage repeatedly. Like perhaps if the cassowary slowed down, got off that coffee, or better yet, if the camera was pulled back just a little bit, that could have also helped. Or better yet, make it so that one Kiwi specifically is helping control the cassowary, and the other Kiwi was just, I don't know, working on delivering letters. Maybe they're like shooting it out of a cannon or something. Just to like, it was too much going on at once. And I do see what they were trying to achieve with this, but there was just too much going on, and it just felt jank, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did.
So I think it's a little bit more playtesting, a little bit more feedback on that one. But really, that was one of the few.
That was the outlier. Oh, there was a couple more.
There were a couple other ones, but that was probably like the biggest one that we ran into in terms of issues. And I wish I had the footage, but I can't seem to find it, no matter how hard I scrub. But either way, Cassowary Courier Course, you should just be wary of playing that one. Give it a try. We tried it a couple times. We never went back to it. But yeah, that one just needs a little bit of a tune-up. But what about you, Noxo? What's the second thing you did not like about working at Bungalow Basin?
Well, for me, I really appreciate the levels. I like the idea and the themes of each season, but some of the levels they reuse are either hit or miss. I was happy that they made like modifications where the levels could feel more different, or even a whole new level altogether. But there are just like a lot of levels that repeat. They're kind of like, this gimmick is okay or not. It's like, it's all right. Like I didn't really like the decoding one with the typewriter. Where
oh no! Yep.
In a certain, wasn't it like an L and an I or a J or something? And it's like very similar looking.
Yep. This one, the night post.
Yeah, the night post, even though it's upside down, that was a big one for me. And it's just when I seen some of the overtime ideas, I thought, wow, those would be cool if those were just in the main game. And the way I kind of would fix this, even though this is like probably a smaller game, a smaller team, they might not have the budget. I would just make it so the first 2 weeks for each month are concepts built on each other. So let's just say the first week is completely different. The second week builds on from the first week, and then the third and fourth week just repeat. So you still have like similar concepts built on each other, but there is a little bit more variety within that season. Just a little bit more spice, because it kind of gets repetitive. I love the ideas again of all the things that we did. Just a little bit more fleshed out, a little bit more concepts, and just variety. I'm pretty sure you agree. Like some of the levels we like way more than other levels. Some of the things that we use, because more like the postal packaging we did, that was pretty fun. That was the one I kind of liked. And the one, what was the other one? Oh, believe it or not, one I wish I seen more of was the musical one. That was like at the first week in overtime.
Oh, the overtime shift.
I like that concept. I would like to see that brought in more and stuff. That is it for my second dislike.
Okay. Man. I mean that was the one I wrote too, because it's just okay. Let's roll back here. Kind of like what Nakuso was saying. I'm just gonna build on his point because I think this is worthy of mentioning it twice. Actually, at the end of the day, there really is only 4 main level types. If you strip out the gimmicks, strip out the variations, whatever, and you focus on the core conceptual designs of the levels, there's always going to be 4 level types. The telegraph typewriter level, the transcription room where you're putting together words to form full messages, the shipping floor where you're placing labels on boxes and shipping out the packages, and there's always the drop-off depot where you're sorting through incoming and outgoing mail and packages. And it's one of those things that you wouldn't really notice it if you are just dabbling in KeyWe, but because we finished the game from beginning to end and we saw the whole thing, I'm 100% with Nakuso. It's like I'm grateful, like I said in my in the previous question, I'm grateful that they had variations of that, but at the end of the day, it's still the same level, the same idea, you know. It's like you can take something and repaint it repeatedly, but you know, it's still the same game over and over. Like Overwatch, you know? Like you take Overwatch 1 and you slap a fresh coat of paint and throw some battle passes and monetization, but at the core of it is still the same game, and that's kind of like how I felt about KeyWe. We love the different variation, but at the end of the day, it's still the same sandwich with a fresh coat of paint on it. But yeah, that's my thing. And how would I fix it? I mean, Nakuso already said it. Create more variation. But that's something that I will actually talk about in my final verdict, believe it or not. So I'm gonna kind of save that for later. But what is the last thing, Nakuso, for you about KeyWe?
My last thing is just I would like a loadout quality of life change. I wish I could change my KeyWe
okay.
instead of having to go back to the character select, then change your KeyWe, and then go back to the store. So that would be the easiest quality of life change. Just let me select my loadout within the store.
Okay. For me, my last thing, I really don't think there's. Yeah, sure. Let's just throw a quality of life change in there. It'd be cool if you, for some reason, you can't swap your KeyWe in the wardrobe, which is weird because that's where all your skins are, like what Nakuso said. You have to actually swap your KeyWe loadout on the main menu, believe it or not. It's really odd. Doesn't make any sense. I didn't even know there were loadouts until you started pressing buttons and you're like, what happened to all my clothes? And then you found out that there were really different KeyWes. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you. So yeah, that'd just be nice. When your friend first joins, you can just pick your clothing from there. Like you don't have to run all the way, or not run, but navigate to the menu to change your costumes. Like it would be cool to just do it there. If you want to get real crazy, you could have like customized loadouts, and then as you start each shift, it will just randomly select from your loadouts.
Ooh,
like again, that could be that could be positive if you want to promote.
They have so many outfits too.
Yeah, promote creativity, show off all the different outfits, even a randomize feature that allows you to randomize into outfits based off what you have would be pretty cool. You know, it's just like little things, but they go a long way, you know, especially in a work environment such as this. Yeah, that's my last thing. So we're going to move on to question 6. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale? Take it away, Nakuso.
I'm really happy that we finally got to play this game. I had this game on my radar for the last couple of years now. Just looking at different co-op games.
No way. I did not know that.
I had I have like a list of co-op games that I wrote down just so I wouldn't forget. And I just thought, you know what? It's time. It's time we go to work in the game. And it like originally this game just caught my attention because of the platforming and the puzzles and the idea of playing as two Kiwis together in a puzzle service. Just the graphics kind of reminded me of the PS2 days, especially when you
Oh
go
yeah.
inside the game and it's like the
Hmm.
menu, how it's laid out. It just has that old aesthetic that I really enjoyed. And, despite a lot of the issues that I have with the game, with some of the levels and the desyncing and everything, I'm still glad that I got to play this. And then it's like, I always like to ask this question, especially since we played previous co-op games in VGBC in the past. Would I play this alone? And the answer is no. I would not. And that does go for me personally and how I determine a score when it comes to a co-op heavy game.
Hmm.
If it has co-op, and then also it has single player, but is the single player really enjoyable to the point where I would actually play it myself? And in this instance, no.
Hmm.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's
It's still,
okay.
it's janky here and there with the controls and other bugs, but it's still a fun time. I'm still glad we got to play it. I do love the themes and the cutscenes, like we mentioned before.
Hmm.
And you know what? It's just a game that not every game has to be I would say a masterpiece. A
Masterpiece.
Every game doesn't have to be super heavily in depth with the story
Hmm.
or anything. It's a very simple game. You stomp your butt, you collect mail, you feed emu, and then you go home without getting paid. And in the end, that's all we can ever ask for.
Amen.
And that's why I'm going to give this game a solid 7.5 Kiwis out of 10 cassowaries.
Ooh, nice. Okay, sick. All right. For me, I think KeyWe is a fun cooperative game. Honestly, I think it does a great job at dishing out Kiwi-sized puzzles that, while they aren't too technically demanding, they do require a level of finesse and cooperation between both players, which is great. It's also cool that this game you have to actively be paying attention for the most part. Shout out to Bubble Wrap Level. Freaking love Bubble Wrap Level. Now, I wouldn't say that the game is as chaotic as something like Overcooked, for example, but you know what? That's okay. The game is fun, and I had a great time. And I really sat down and thought hard about this game for a good solid 5 minutes while in the bathroom. And I thought to myself, but I came to the conclusion, and I honestly, it's kind of weird. Hey, look, I found the level, by the way. I found the footage of the.
Good.
Yeah, that's the level we were referring to, by the way, that we were just completely did not like. But anyways, I honestly, truly believe, kind of weird to say this, that this game is being held back from greatness, and it's being limited and held down by the core concept it revolves around, which is the post office. I love you, Bungalow Basin, but man, don't get me wrong. I think that the developer, Stone Wheat and Sons, they did every possible thing they could when it comes to a post office environment. In fact, I applaud them for what they were able to accomplish and even keep us engaged in an environment like this. But kind of like what we were saying earlier, those ideas and those thoughts kind of start to run dry. And I can't help but ask myself, what if these Kiwis were part-timers, juggling different jobs in different careers? What if they were chefs, fishermen, firefighters? The whole joy, at least for me, of playing this game was seeing how these little tiny Kiwi birds are able to perform these tasks and how they would interpret it. And that was one of the fun things about this game. And the only reason why I'm even bringing this up, and this is something that Noxo mentioned, was because of the overtime shift level, the Kiwis in harmony. In other words, the music level. Because when you look at it, that is the only level in this whole game that has nothing to do with the postal office.
Oh, there's the cooking one where you're the ingredients with the baking.
Oh, okay. And the baking.
The cookie one.
So it's two levels out of the whole
And the
game.
snowball fight.
What? We're having a break.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have to give us our 15 minutes, right? Actually, no, they don't. They don't have to do anything. We're Kiwis. But
the overtime one seems like they really went to experimenting on different concepts.
Yes. And I would have loved, and I know you can agree, I would have loved that they would have expanded on that some more. Like we actually got to see more levels like that. But yeah, that's kind of where my mind is at. Like, I feel like this was a good experience of like seeing what was possible. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to see more. The game left me wanting to see more. Like, I feel like they're just scratching the surface of what they can do with this idea. And I hope if they do decide to make another game about Kiwis, they like have the Kiwis try other jobs. Like, I would love to see it in a restaurant setting, like how chaotic that would be. And that is why I am giving KeyWe 7 OSHA violations out of 10. So that's my final score. With that said, here's the final score breakdown. Noxo gave it a 7.5. I gave it a 7. So calculating it all out, KeyWe gets our final average rating of 72.5% or 14.5 out of 20. Solid game. Grab a friend. Go at it. Touch your Kiwis. It's a good time. But you know what, Noxo? Do you know what time it is, man?
It's time for a question of mystery that may be a bonus.
Dang. All right, man. Take it away. What is this question of mystery that are bonused?
All right. So I kept this simple for this episode just because how chaotic the game is. But also, this is a funny question because this has so much variety in the game. What if you could create your own level, Tubby? What would it play like?
What would it play like?
What would it play like?
I don't know. You start first. I need time to think. I didn't write an answer.
Okay, so I thought this is so funny. This concept just came up from one instance and one level, and I think this was just an overtime level. So you know the level where when we're at the mail service, I forgot I think it was the last week, and we're just like getting rid of some letters or like flinging them out the window, and there was just blood on the mail.
Oh my
God! I really got Tubby interested. So what if there's a weapon smuggling level where you're just milling off illegal weapons and quotations throughout the game, throughout that mission, and the more dangerous, the better. Like flamethrowers, you got your nukes, your casual nukes, you got your poison, and you just have to make sure to clear anything that might look suspicious. Like actual mail.
Oh my God.
You don't need that here. Yeah, that's gross. This is a smuggling postal service, and we're just going to be helping the cassowaries escort these to the highest buyer. So you have to pay attention to the price and make sure the bugs, from the earlier levels, the locusts, don't take your weapons, because believe it or not, this also connects to 2 things that you know about, Tubby. Okay. One is A Bug's Life, and the second is ants. So just look at this mission like a Kiwi cross Bug Life and a Kiwi cross ants. This is actually leading up to Kiwi versus the bugs.
Oh my God.
Yep. Makes sense. And if you've never seen those movies, you don't know what I'm talking about, this is going to be really awkward.
You should definitely see those movies because it's a good time. Especially ants, termite scene. That's all I had to look up.
Yeah. Much depressing.
Very depressing.
Like, and this fits the job. Smuggling weapons, Kiwi versus bug war. It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a ton of sense.
What about your question? You already have prepared your answer.
My answer, I don't have anything prepared. So I'm going to go with a level. What would it play like? I'm going with a giant sandwich making level. Yeah, let's do that. SpongeBob. SpongeBob would be good. KeyWe X SpongeBob crossover. So you're working at, they got tired of the postal service. They were like, man, it's time for a career change. These guys and their OSHA violations, I can't take this anymore. So they're going to work at the Krusty Krab, and they're going to be making giant Krabby Patties. Okay, they're going to be making normal sized Krabby Patties, but they're going to be a little bit larger because they're little tiny birds. So then you and your Kiwi buddy you're getting orders in, you're working in the kitchen, you have to prep the Krabby Patty, bun, patty, lettuce, cheese, onion, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun. And depending on what they order, you have to quickly and rapidly put ingredients and stack them as quickly as possible because, fish get really hungry, people get really hungry, and you just gotta make a really fast sandwich. I think that'd be pretty sick, honestly. I don't know. I'm just really hungry.
That'd be pretty sick. You know what? Can I add something to that? Can you have Squidward, trying to eat your Krabby Patty? It's like that one episode where he goes, he like sneaks Krabby Patties. That was a great one.
And then he gets freaking addicted to it.
Yep.
And then it goes to his thighs.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do it. SpongeBob is sick, and then the Kiwis are kind of taking over. I like that. But thank you, Nakaso, for the question. Thank you for joining, man, on KeyWe. It was a fun time. I'm glad you requested this game, or you recommended this game for us to play. Quite enjoy it, man.
I feel like it's a hidden gem.
It really is.
Those games that go under the radar.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know this existed, but now I'm glad that it did, and now it is immortalized in VGBC. But yeah, that concludes this episode of Video Game Book Club. Thank you for tuning in, and if you'd like to join the Video Game Book Club Discord and play and discuss video games alongside us in the community, the link will be in the description box below. As most people know, currently it is Persona 3 Reload for VGBC 67, I believe. So yeah, check that out. And with that said, take care, have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Video Game Book Club. Say goodbye, everyone.
See ya.